and record this. And when the demonstration is over, if you'd like, I can email you a video of the demonstration that you just participated in. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want you to be aware of is that this software has everything that you would normally expect from a salon or spa management software. For instance, appointment book, point of sale, inventory control, client database, marketing, commissions, reporting, etc. It also has a couple of items that are fairly unique to it, specifically Darcy Marketing and the online system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with those two items, and then we'll get into the basics. Excuse me. Also, please feel free to interrupt me with any questions as we go along, because I'm going to try to get a lot of information out in a fairly short period of time. So I'll just run right over you if you don't interrupt me. So please feel free to just interrupt as we go along, okay? Okay. So starting with Darcy Marketing. Darcy has 5 main jobs associated with her. Those 5 main jobs are appointment confirmations and reminders, automated marketing campaigns, management notifications, the come again, and the buy again. Now, she does other things, but those are the 5 main jobs that she has. So I'm going to briefly go over each one of those for you. The first is appointment reminders and confirmations, and they can be done via email or text. And with this, you get to write whatever the message is you want to write. This is for an appointment reminder. So for instance, it might say something like reminder for Nadine. Hi Nadine, remember that you have an appointment for a European facial with Sally on March 9th at 11 a.m. So these are what are called variables, and you can find the list of variables that you can use for appointment reminders and confirmations right here by clicking on that little information I. So you can insert them into the body of your message so that your customers will get a unique message just for them. Now, when this goes out, it's not just a reminder. It's got your logo on it, it's got your social networking icons on it, but it's also got a large button that says click here to confirm your appointment. So if your customer actually clicks that button, it will mark the appointment confirmed right on your appointment book with a date and timestamp showing that it was in fact confirmed by the customer through Darcy. Also, you get to choose how many of these reminders go out, up to 4, once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times. Now, once the customer confirms the appointment, it won't bother sending out any of the others if you have others going out. But if they don't confirm their appointment, then it will send out the next one if you have a next one selected. So it'll keep reminding them until they actually confirm their appointment. And you can do the same thing via text. The difference is with text, of course, you don't have the artwork. So there's no logo, there's no social networking icons, there's no big button that says click here to confirm your appointment. Instead, you would have something like reply Y to confirm. This way, when the customer gets the text, if they reply Y, it'll do the same thing. Mark it confirmed right on your appointment book, date and time stamped, showing that it was confirmed by the customer through Darcy. So that's job number 1. Job number 2 that Darcy has are the automated marketing campaigns. Now, there are over 20 of them to choose from that we've already pre-selected for you. However, you can create your own as well using the promotional one, so that it doesn't have to be tied into any kind of holiday or important date. So for instance, I've got anniversary, back to school, birthday, Christmas, etc., all the way down Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, the works, just about every important date that you can think of. Now, let's say that I wanted to reach out to my customers before their date of birth. So I'm going to click on birthday, and then I get to choose my number of campaigns that I want to run, 1, 2, 3, or 4. This time I chose 4. And after I've selected how many campaigns, I get to say when they go out. And I can choose from 0 to 30 days and anything in between. So I said I want my first message to go out 30 days prior, my second message to go out 2 weeks before, my third message 7 days before, and my fourth message on their birthday. Once I've said when they're going to go out, I get to say what goes out. So I say, for instance, my first message, happy birthday, Nadine. Happy birthday, Nadine. It looks like you'll be celebrating your special day in about a month. I wrote that, of course, because I know this is going out 30 days prior to her birthday. Be sure to come before, and perhaps her birthday is April 9th, to come before April 9th for a birthday discount. So it would insert that as well. You can use these variables that you see listed here while you're writing this up. Also, while you're writing your message, some of your words, or all of them, or a portion of them, or in the middle of a sentence, it doesn't matter. While you're writing it, you can choose to make words bold, or underlined, or italicized, or you can even change their color. You can also insert hyperlinks. something like click here to download your 5% off discount, or click here to book your next appointment online, or click here to visit our website, whatever it may be. So you can insert hyperlinks right into the message as well. Not only that, but you can choose your font and font size. So you write your message, then you get to choose your artwork that's going out with your message. Now we have 8 different pieces of artwork to choose from. So depending on which one you select, that's what's going to be the header, then your message and your logo would be down here. And don't worry about the size. The logo is whatever your logo is, and don't worry about the shape either. So if you don't care for any of the images we have pre-created for you, you get to upload your own custom artwork. And ProSolutions software has a graphic arts department, which is at your disposal at no additional charge, that can either give you the specs so that you can create your own artwork, or they can work with you to create your artwork if you don't care for the artwork that was already pre-created in the system. So once you've written your message, you've chosen your artwork, whichever one works best for you, then you can send yourself a test email to make sure it looks good. Yep, it looks good. Save the template and exit. You're done with this one. You can do the same thing for the next message. You can choose a different artwork, have a different message, etc. Go through the same processes and save it. Once you've saved all of your messages that want to go out, you're done with this. You can then move on to your next one and do the same thing. Now there are over 20 of them to choose from. However, there are a couple of them that are a little bit different. They don't go out before the date. So almost all of these go out before the date, before Halloween, before Valentine's Day, before Mother's Day, before your birthday, etc. However, we do have a couple like Lost Client. Lost Client goes after the date. And what's the date then? The date is the date of your last transaction. So if a customer came in, and I chose from 30 to 360 days, so I could say if the customer has not come in within 90 days, so 3 months have gone by and they have not returned, they might get this message then. So I choose my artwork like this, hurry back, or I upload my own custom artwork and I write my message, we miss you, Nadine. Nadine, it's been a long time since we've seen you, etc. Now, Darcy's not dumb. If the customer has a future appointment booked with you, she won't send out the message. So even if they have missed 3 months or 4 months or 5 months or 8 months like I've selected, they won't get the message if they have a future appointment booked with you. Another one that's a little bit different like that is the follow-up. The follow-up also goes out after the date of last contact. I mean, the date of last transaction. So in this case, if I said, hey, I just want one campaign to run one day after, that means that this message is going to go out to everybody who visited me yesterday, as long as they allow you to send them promos. So it might say something like, thank you for your visit, or whatever artwork you want to put up there. Thank you, Nadine. Nadine, it was, thank you so much for visiting us yesterday. We hope everything went great for you, et cetera, et cetera. So those are some of the automated marketing campaigns that you can set up and forget. Darcy runs 365 days a year, and she will send them out on the times that you've selected. As long as the customers meet the criteria that you set, they'll get the proper messages that you want them to get. The next job, job 3 that Darcy handles, are notifications. These are kind of like an assistant manager looking over the shoulder of your front desk there. Now, Darcy's going to handle any of these that you check. So you can leave them all checked, you can leave them all unchecked, whatever you want. So for instance, though, I've said when a cash payment is voided, and that's checked. That means that if one of your staff members voids a cash payment at the point of sale, Darcy will automatically contact the owner instantly and say, hey, a cash payment was just voided on this transaction, on this day, at this time. And by the way, if that option to void a cash payment is password protected, it'll even tell you who did it. If it's not password protected, it'll give you all of the information. It just won't be able to tell you who did it. This one here, when a price is modified at the point of sale, same thing. Your front desk modifies the price at the point of sale. Boss gets notified that a price has in fact been modified. When rewards points are adjusted, or when a transaction is modified, when one of your employees downloads or prints out a list of your clients with their names and addresses and telephone numbers, etc., you can be instantly notified that somebody did that. So these are some of the things that we call suspicious activities. Now, not all of these are suspicious activities, however. Like this one here, email tomorrow's schedule to the operator. Well, if you've got that one checked, then every night Darcy's going to email your staff their schedule for the following day. Now, just their schedule, nobody else's. Also this one, email closing report to the boss. Maybe the boss isn't the one that closes the drawer at the end of the night. She goes home and an employee closes the drawer. Well, then the boss is going to get a notification from Darcy that says, hey boss, here are tonight's closing numbers, something like that. So whatever you check here, that's what Darcy's going to be handling for you. And she's going to be communicating either with your staff, possibly even with your client, and most of them are going to be communicating directly with the boss. So that's job number 3. Jobs 4 and 5 are the come again and the buy again. And the way these work, come again works with services. So you can put a time frame on a service. And I'm not talking about the amount of time that it takes a service to be provided. Like a 90-minute massage takes 90 minutes, obviously. I'm talking about the gap between when they get a service and when they repeat it. So if you offer services that should be repeated in a salon environment, maybe something like a root touch-up, or maybe in a spa environment, something like a physical therapy massage, something that should be repeated, you can set from 1 to 52 weeks on the come again for a particular service. So that if somebody comes in and gets that service, and then let's say you set it for 5 weeks, and 5 weeks have gone by and they have not repeated that service, they can get an instant email from Darcy reminding them about maybe their missed cycle or something like that. You can even go prior to the date. So maybe it should be repeated, let's say in 12 weeks. So in 10 weeks, if they don't have a future appointment booked with you, Darcy can reach out to them and say, hey, it's been 10 weeks since you got service A, and you really should repeat it every 12 weeks. We notice you don't have a future appointment booked with us, so you might consider booking within the next 2 weeks so that, blah, 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 whatever the reason is that they should repeat that service. So you can do things like that with the come again. Again, Darcy's not dumb. If the customer has an appointment in the future for that service, it won't send out the email, even if they have missed that amount of time. And then there is the buy again. Buy again works similarly to the come again, but it works with inventory, your products. So again, you can put a time frame on products. You might say this bottle of A should be empty or close to empty in about 3 weeks if they use it like I told them to use it. So I'm going to set it for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Then you might be able to, if the customer comes in and 4 or 5 weeks have gone by and they have not returned to buy this product again, Darcy can reach out to them and say, hey, your product's probably out or running low. Come in for maybe a 5% discount on this product, or maybe you don't offer a discount. You just remind them that they're running low and they should come back in to replenish their supply. And even you might suggest, as long as you're coming in to replenish your supply, you may, we may offer you this service or something like that at a discount or something. The consultants that helped us develop these 2 features, according to the consultants that helped us develop it, the come again results in about a 7% increase in client retention and service sales. And the buy again results in about an 8% increase in retail sales and about a 0.5% increase in client retention and service sales as well. So those are the 5 main jobs that Darcy has. Any questions on Darcy before I continue?
No, everything is clear there.
Great. Okay, so then the next thing would be online. Now the online works as web pages or in conjunction with your app. You do not have to use the app with this software. However, if you want to use the app, you must use this software because the app communicates with the software. So the online portion allows your customers 3 options. You don't have to use all 3, but it allows them 3 options. The ability to book their own appointments online, the ability to purchase gift certificates or gift cards online, and the ability to purchase retail products online. And you get to design your artwork that goes on here. For instance, the top banner, the side banner, and the bottom banner is entirely up to you. Although again, our graphic arts department can make them for you or can help you with them or just give you the specs so that you can make them yourself. You get to choose the colors. You get to choose the fonts, the words. This is going to hopefully have the same look and feel as your website, and your customers are going to be able to book their own appointments, purchase gift certificates, or purchase retail right through your website using these web pages. And if you decide to go with the app, then when they download the app, they'll have those abilities along with a number of other abilities through the app as well, but they'll have those 3 abilities available to them as well, as long as you've activated all 3. You can just go with one. You might say, I don't want my customers buying product online or buying gift certificates online. I just want them booking appointments online. Or maybe you say, I just want them buying gift certificates online, but not appointments or retail. You can do that too. It's totally up to what you activate. So that's the online store. Do you have any questions on that before I continue?
No.
All right, so now we're going to talk about some of the basics in the software. For instance, we're going to start with the appointment book. Now, there are two distinct appointment books in the software. There is what's called the day view screen and what's called the week view screen. The day view screen will look something like this. It's going to have your list of staff members that work for a particular day. So today is Wednesday, March 7th, 2018, and there it is right there at the top. And these are my staff members that are working today. And I can use these little arrows to advance one day at a time or go back. So I could go to Thursday, March 8th, Friday, March 9th, Saturday, March 10th, or I can go back Friday, March 9th, Thursday, March 8th, back on Wednesday, March 7th. So this is, again, my day view screen, and I can choose a customer from my database, or I can create a brand new customer if they're not already in my database. I can choose a group. All of your groups are user-defined, so they're made by you, and your services are user-defined as well. So I choose, the last operator was Jessica, good to know. So I chose Claudia here to get a blow dry and curl. Jessica's not working today, so I'm going to book her with Leslie at 11 o'clock. And the appointment is booked. So again, I simply choose a customer, whoever they are. I choose a group, choose a service, and block out the time. So the appointment is booked. Okay, so that's booking an appointment on the day view screen. Now we also have the week view screen. The week view screen allows you to see a specific employee's schedule for today plus 2 weeks. So if I went to Debbie here and right-clicked on Debbie and said go to week view, now I'm looking at just Debbie's schedule from today plus 2 weeks. And again, I can still book appointments through this as well, but now I'm just booking for Debbie. So I can do, say, a blow dry, and I'm going to book that with a new customer here. We'll say Shelly Habaker, and I'll book that on Monday, March 12th at 10 a.m. And the appointment is booked. So I can book through the day view screen or the week view screen. And I can flip back and forth between my people. So I've got Debbie here on my week view screen, and I choose Jessica. Now I'm looking at Jessica's schedule, and then I choose Christian. I'm looking at Christian's schedule, etc. So I'm able to look at an individual schedule for 15 straight days today plus 2 weeks, or by using the little plus and minus signs here, I can add days. So I can see up to 31 days on a single screen. Or I can subtract days by using my minus sign. And my default is 15. 1 today plus 2 weeks. Okay? Now, as far as booking, unbooking, and rescheduling appointments go, you can reschedule appointments incredibly simply. You just check the box that says reschedule. And you can move the appointment now. Just drag and drop it anywhere you want. And if they're not coming in today because they have to reschedule for another day, I can go to Kathy, go to her week view, hit reschedule again, and move this appointment to March 9th, or move it to 11 o'clock on March 12th, or move it to 10 o'clock on March 15th, or bring it right back to 12 o'clock today. So moving an appointment around to another day is very simple as well. Unbooking an appointment is as simple as this. Let's go back to our day view screen. If I right-click on an appointment, I can select Unbook or Unbook All This Day. Unbook will simply remove the appointment that I right-clicked on. If I select Unbook All This Day, it will unbook all of the appointments that this client has today, not anybody else's appointments. So don't let that scare you. Don't think that if you hit Unbook All This Day, all of the appointments that you had booked that day are going to be unbooked. Absolutely not. Just the appointments that that client might have that day. So again, that customer may have 3 or 4 different services because maybe they're getting a day of beauty or something like that. So Unbook All This Day will remove all of them. If I said unbook, it would just remove one of their appointments, even if they had several of them. Okay? So you can do it either way. Any questions on that before I continue?
No, that's clear enough.
Good, good. Okay, you can also do a lot more with the appointment book. For instance, you can do standing appointments. Somebody comes in every other Tuesday or every 4th Friday, whatever it may be. So you can set standing appointments up, and you can set them from 1 to 256 appointments into the future. Or you can even choose auto standing and have it automatically add another appointment to the end. So maybe I book 12 appointments at one time for somebody. And if I choose auto standing, then every time they use one of those appointments, it will automatically book another one at the end so that they're always 12 appointments out. So that's standing appointments. You can do booking of packages. You can create packages on the fly by inserting services and having the system look for available openings, or you can do pre-created packages that you've already made. like the Princess's Day or something like that. And you can choose the date that the customer wants to come in. You can choose the time that they would like to start at the earliest. And then when you hit go, it will find every available option for you that fits within the time frame and the date range that you've selected. And once you have something that works for you, you could say something like, okay, so Maureen is going to do your acrylic tips at 10 o'clock, Lizette's going to do your back facial at 11, and Debbie's going to do your microfacial at 12 o'clock. Does that work for you? If the customer says yes, I can go ahead and book it. So I can choose my customer and book. If any of the services require a room, you'll be asked to choose that, or any equipment that may be needed, and the appointments are booked. And there they are. And I can see all of them on my screen. Let me go ahead and add more columns here. There we go. So once again, I've got Maureen doing the acrylic tips, followed by Lizette doing the back facial, followed by Debbie doing the microfacial. So you can book multiple services simultaneously as well. You can change the order that you have people in. You can change, you can add your clients to a waiting list if somebody was waiting for a specific time and date, so that if that time and date becomes available, it'll automatically pop up letting you know that this person is waiting for that time, so you can insert their appointment instantly. It'll also give you their telephone number so that you can call them and let them know that that time has become available. And it doesn't have to just be for a specific time, by the way. It could be over the course of days or even a week. So you might say, hey, Ashley is just booked solid all next week, just completely booked up all next week. And the customer says, well, if anything becomes available with Ashley next week, could you let me know? You can set that up as well, so that instead of a specific date and time, it might say if anything becomes available next week between the hours of, say, 9 and 5, Monday through Friday. Then if anything gets rescheduled or unbooked, it'll pop up and letting you know that that person is waiting for that time. You can either insert their appointment in that was waiting, or you can decline it and they'll be put back in the queue and come up again if something else becomes available, because maybe you contacted them and said, well, we did have an opening on Thursday at 12 that just came up, and she says, oh wow, of all the times, that's the one time I can't make. Okay, so cancel that, and then if something else were to come up, she would pop up again. So she's put back into the queue. And you can have as many people as you want on the waiting list, and they'll simply be queued based on who it is they're waiting for. Okay? All right. Any questions on the appointment book before we continue?
No, everything is clear, dear.
Great, great. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to check somebody out. So let's say I go to Claudia, and I right-click and I select Check Out. It will open up my point of sale register with their ticket already filled in for me. Claudia Fabiana saw Leslie. She got a blow dry and curl for $50. Perhaps I'm ready to accept her payment, or perhaps not. Maybe she got something else while she was there. She was upsold, but it wasn't added to the appointment book. So then I can say she also saw Leslie and got a French pedicure. So she saw Leslie for a blow dry and curl, and while she was there, she was talked into a French pedicure as well. Maybe she saw somebody else as well. Maybe she saw Ashley and got, I don't know, let's say a Swedish 30. So now we've got 3 different things on this. Maybe we're ready to go to payment, maybe not. Maybe the client would like to offer a gratuity. So I can put a dollar amount in for Ashley and accept it, and then I can put a dollar amount in for Leslie and accept that, or I could apply a percentage and let it do the math for me. So Leslie's going to get $14.25 and Ashley is going to get $7.50. Maybe I'm ready to go to payment, or maybe they want to buy a product. If I'm using a barcode scanner, I can just scan my product. If not, I can type in the SKU number, or I can click on retail and look up a product by name. So for instance, if I type in a SKU number, I could say Debbie made the sale. So Claudia was sold by Debbie, the Justin All-in-One shampoo for $21. It puts in my local tax, and I'm ready to go now. Now I've got my services, I've got my gratuity, I've got my product that they would like to purchase, and now I can go to payment. If I wanted to, I could apply coupons or modify prices as well. I can also click on any line and remove that specific item from their ticket. Then I'm going to go to payment here, and I can accept payment in cash or check. So cash, put in the dollar amount that they give me, or check, put in my check number. Credit card. If I'm processing credit cards directly through the software using our preferred provider, it's going to look like this. And when you click on that, you'll stick the card into the chip reader. You'll get your authorization right through the software. If you are not processing through our preferred provider, which is fine, then it's going to look something like this, and you're going to be able to choose what type of card they gave you. This way your reporting is accurate, even though you're doing your credit cards outside of the software through a separate terminal. You can accept gift cards or gift certificates through the system. You can type in a gift certificate number or scan a barcode on a gift certificate, or you can swipe a gift card. And with our gift certificate and gift card system, there is no third-party authorization. What does that mean? That means that you don't get charged per swipe fees or authorization fees or any fees whatsoever. The money is yours. There are no fees associated with the gift certificates or gift cards. We do not take a percentage. And there is no company out there that's associated with our system that takes a percentage from you. So when you sell a gift certificate for $100, that $100 is yours, all $100 of it. Now, if they pay for a gift certificate with a credit card, well, then whatever your credit card rates are, that's what that is. But that's got nothing to do with the gift certificate itself. Okay? Also, series. You can offer series to your customers as a method of payment. So what is a series? Let's say that you offer, you know what, let me ask you, Nadine, can you tell me what type of business are you exactly? Are you a salon or a spa or both?
It's a spa.
Okay, all right, so I'll try to focus on spa items. For instance, let's say that you offered a European facial and they're $50, I'll just say for easy math in my head. If you wanted to sell 5 European facials to this customer at one time, maybe you offer him a discount, so $225 instead of $250. So he buys that, that's called a series, and you can name it. So maybe it's called a Eurofacial 5 because it's 5 of them. So he buys that for $225 to get that $25 discount because he comes in every couple of weeks to get his European facial. Well, if he owns a series, then it would be listed here, and you would be able to then use that series as a method of payment. She has a haircut with no blow dry series, and she's used one of them already. She has 4 out of 5 unused. Now, she's not getting blow dry with no haircut service, so we don't have to concern ourselves with that. But let's say she was getting a European facial. I could use the European facial as the method of payment. Now, it would either zero out my ticket, or it would simply zero out that one service that she was getting if there were other things on the ticket as well. So you can accept series as a method of payment. Another method of payment is on account. If your customer has given you a deposit, for instance, you can remove money from the amount of money that you owe them because they had previously given you money for a deposit. So they gave you $500, they're going to spend $450. We could take $450 on account, and it will remove that $450 from the $500 that they have on account. That's one way to use on account. Another way would be if you don't owe them any money, they didn't give you a deposit, but maybe they forgot their credit card or something like that, and they can't pay you, and they're a good friend of yours, or they're a regular customer, and they say, oh my God, I left my credit card at home. I was online shopping last night, and I left it next to the computer. And you say, don't worry about it. Come back and pay me later. So you can put it on account, and it will show that they owe you that money. And then you can take that payment later when they come in with their card or something like that. Now, of course, if you don't know the person, you probably don't want to do that. But, just another way to use on account. If you are part of a hotel or resort and you are using our hotel interface, then you're able to charge directly to a room. You can even do room inquiries as well. You can accept traveler's checks. You can even create your own unique methods of payment. So, I don't know, as an example, let's say your electrician comes in and does your wiring. So you give him a massage and a facial. So you're not going to take in money for that because you're giving it to him as trade. So you might use other as the method of payment for that. And then finally, another method of payment is rewards points. If you're using the loyalty rewards program, and I'm not trying to sell you something, that's part of the software. If you're using it, you can assign points to services and products and even referrals so that your customers can earn points by buying services or products or giving you referrals. They can then turn around and use those points to get discounts or freebies from you. And you get to determine how many points services or products or referrals earn and how many points they cost. So you can do it that way as well. So lots of different ways to accept payment. So I'm going to go ahead and accept payment from Claudia here, and I'm going to say she's going to pay with cash. She's got a $100 bill that she wants to get rid of. So she gives me $100 and nothing more. But remember, she owes me $189.69. She just gives me $100, but she still owes me $89.69 now, and she puts that on credit card. So I'll say that she paid with Visa for the balance and accept. So now I don't have to, but now if I went into that client's information, it was Claudia here. If I go into that client's information and look at their history, I can see everything they've ever gotten from me, services, products, gift certificates, etc. But I can also see that on March 7th of 2018, she saw Leslie for a blow dry and curl, Leslie again for a French pedicure, and Ashley for a Swedish 30. She also, on that same day, Debbie sold her the Justin All-in-One shampoo. If I click on any one of those items, notice they all have the same transaction number, those 4 items, those 3 here and this one down here in products. Click on any part of them and view the transaction. I can see everything that happened on that transaction, including the fact that they paid $100 in cash and $89.69 in Visa, what the tax was, the gratuities, the works. Everything having to do with that transaction is there. And if there was a mistake, something was done wrong, improperly, maybe it was the wrong person that it was assigned to, maybe it was the wrong service, maybe it was the wrong price, maybe it wasn't a Visa, it was a MasterCard, whatever it may be, you can modify the transaction, and all the different pieces of the transaction can be modified so that your reporting will be accurate if you caught a mistake. Okay?
Okay.
Now, there's a lot more to the point of sale. Things like transaction notes, applying coupons, selling memberships, selling series, selling gift certificates, adding notes to the transaction, duplicating a receipt, emailing the receipt, or printing the receipt, or printing a receipt that's already been emailed, or emailing a receipt that's already been printed, etc. You can even do a preprint of a receipt so that your customers can have a gratuity line, like at a restaurant, that they can fill in and sign, so that you can get that information from them before you process their transaction, so that you can take their tip in without them having to tell you necessarily what it is. They can write it right down on the pre-printed receipt. So you can do things like that as well. Do you have any questions on the point of sale before I continue?
No, you can continue.
All right. So then the next thing we're going to talk about is reporting. So I'm going to go into reports, and I want you to be aware that there are over 300 pre-made reports already built for you into the system. So chances are you're going to find exactly what it is you're looking for. Our reports have been designed based on what our customers have requested over the years. So with over 300 different reports based on customer requests, I'm almost certain you're going to find everything you can imagine in there. However, if that is not the case for any reason, we have something called the data miner. The data miner allows you to actually mine your data, your SQL database. What it really means is that you can create custom reports, and you can name them and save them so that they're going to be there for you in the future as well, so you don't have to recreate them every time you want to run them. Now, all of the reports have special tools associated with them. So I'm going to choose a report. The report itself isn't important, but I want to show you a few things. So I'm going to go to Sales, Service Sales, and say for a selected operator. So this is Service Sales for a selected employee. So I can choose from a list of my employees, or I can choose everybody, which is what I'm going to do, everybody, and then Accept. Put in a date range. Now I'm going to put in an old date range here. And Accept. Now, the reason I put in that old date range was because I wanted to show you, first of all, notice that that report came up in about 2 seconds. This is 5-year-old data, and there's a lot of it. 843 sales, $58,042 worth of sales, et cetera, $42, I mean, $58,042 worth of services, et cetera. And all of that information is there for you, came up in 2 seconds. Now I'm going to talk about the different tools. For instance, the Zoom tool. If I click Zoom, it does just what you think it would do. It makes it bigger or smaller, just a little bit easy to read, a little easier to read. That's really all there is to it. Then you've got email. Click on email, type in an email address and hit OK, and guess what? That report just got sent to whomever you want to send it to. Your HR department, your accountant, yourself at home, your manager, whatever, off it goes. This is a really nice one. With one click of a button, export to Excel. One click of a button, and this becomes an Excel spreadsheet. So I don't have to export it into a CSV file or a TXT file, then upload it into Excel and then set my delimiters. I don't have to do any of that nonsense. One click of a button, it becomes an Excel spreadsheet. I can now save it and name it. Then I could open another report as an Excel spreadsheet and maybe copy a column or a row from one report to another, or a set of numbers from one report to another, allowing me to manipulate my data in ways I've never been able to do before. Of course, I can print out my reports as well, but also, while I'm in the report, I can make subtle adjustments. Like, right now I'm looking at all operators, all registers for the period from September 1st to October 1st of 13. Well, what if I wanted to see just Christian? or Debbie or Abigail. Well, in most systems, I would need to close this report, go back into service, go back into sales, go back to service sales, go back to whatever it is I'm looking for, and then choose the person I want to do it for, put in the date range, and hit accept. Those are the steps to create the report. And in most systems, you have steps similar to that. And if you want to see something different for a different person, you've got to go through that process all over again. Well, with ours, you don't have to do that. It's very quick. And if you've got a lot of employees, this is very, very helpful. We just choose the employee, like Christian, and recalculate. And now it's Christian's report. And say, okay, now I want to see it for Debbie, and recalculate. And now it's Debbie's report. And all of these tools still work. Export to Excel, and it's now an Excel spreadsheet for Debbie for the same period, and it's just Debbie's numbers. I can also change the period. So I could say, okay, I want it for September 1st to September 7th and recalculate. And now it's for Debbie for September 1st to September 7th of 13 and her information. And all of these tools are still going to work for you. If you have multiple locations, you can even look at the report in a different location, and it'll have the name of the location. And so you can simply select between your locations to see what Debbie did at location A, location B, location C, etc.
Okay.
So you have those tools, and those tools are available to you on just every single report that's already pre-made. And by the way, when you create a custom report, those tools become part of that custom report as well. Now, there's a lot more to reports. For instance, if I go to goals, I can set up operator goals. These are goals set for my staff, and these goals are based on today, the last 7 days, and the last 30 days. So daily, weekly, and monthly. So your daily goal, the last 7 days goal, and the last 30 days goal. You can set those goals up, and then you can view those goals at any time. You can also do what's called the fortune teller. The fortune teller allows you to look at your business or an individual employee and see what their exact numbers are based on their last 3 months worth of trends. And so it's showing your last 3 months worth of trends, and it says, look, if nothing changes, this is what your next year is going to look like based on your last 3 months. But then you can come down here to the bottom part and make changes so that you can see what those changes will do to your bottom line. So in other words, before you invest your time or your effort or your money trying to increase one of these numbers up here to something else, you can see what your effort or time or money is going to return to you. So you can see your return on investment. So let's say that your accountant your consultant sits down with you and says, okay, we're looking at your numbers here. Now, obviously, don't worry about these numbers. They're grotesquely low because this is sample data. But let's say he looked at these numbers and he said, okay, look, Matt, if you pay $1,000 to do this and you spend 20 hours of your time doing this and you set this new policy up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, if you do all of these things, then your active client number should go from 44 to 50. So I'll punch in 50. And your active client retention should go from 21.62 to 24. And your new customers per month should go from a little less than 1 a month to 1.5 a month. So, whoops, not 10.5, 1.5 per month. So that you're getting 3 new customers every 2 months. My new client retention, which is at 0%, maybe it's at 5% now, et cetera. So I simply plug in these small changes and I get to see what it does to my total sales. My total sales would have been 7920, but with these new figures, they'll be 11,327. My difference in annual sales is 3,407. My difference in annual income is $977.94. So if I spent $1,000 to do this, it's not worth it to me, especially if I spent $1,000 in 20 hours of my time. But you'll notice, you'll be able to make a subtle change to something and see a dramatic return with your real numbers. So again, before you invest your time, effort, or money, you'll be able to see what your return should be based on your hoped for numbers if you hit those goals, okay? And you also have things like social analytics. So the system, now I don't actually have mine set up. I might have it in this old one. So the system is, yeah, I do, good, is going to be able to interface with your Facebook, with your Instagram, with your Twitter, et cetera, and it's going to be able to show you which of your posts are getting the most impressions, the most likes, the most shares, the most comments, et cetera, so that you can then focus on the posts, the type of posts that work for you, and the type of posts that are getting very little hits, maybe those are the types of posts you don't do anymore. It will also give you your demographics. Who are you reaching? Are you reaching men? Are you reaching women? What are the percentages? What are their ages? Things like that. So you get to do social analytics right through the software as well. Any questions on reporting before I continue?
It's very clearly, very interested.
I'm so sorry. Say that again.
It's very clear. I understand.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yes.
so then the next thing that we're going to talk about is inventory. The inventory system is very powerful. In fact, it is as powerful as if it was its own separate software. In fact, I can say that because it used to be. It used to be its own private retail software. We purchased that company, built their inventory directly into our software. So there's a lot that can be done with it. For instance, you can do your purchase orders right through your software. And you can receive your purchase orders through your software. And when you receive them, it will automatically update your quantities. It can even print out your labels and your barcodes if you need it to. You can create your own barcodes as well, or your own labels. So if you've got product that don't already have barcodes on them, you can make barcodes for them, print them out onto standard Avery labels, put them right on your products if you want to be able to do that as well. You can create labels without barcodes as well. In the products themselves, you have a button called Activity, and it will show you everything going on with that product. So let me pull up one that I actually use a lot. So with this one, it shows everything going on. And what does this tell me? Well, these are, if I say received only, these are the purchase orders that this product was done on. These are any sales that I did for this product. These are any merchandise returns that this product was involved in. These were any manual adjustments that I did after I did my physical counts, and everything. So that's just the activity button. You've got, remember we were talking about Darcy and we talked about the buy again feature. Here's your buy again feature. So I said this product should last about 3 weeks. So maybe I set it for 5 weeks because I don't want to be that guy that honks the horn the second the light turns green. So then if 5 weeks have gone by and they haven't returned to buy the product, your Just an All-in-One shampoo is running low. If you've been using the shampoo like we told you, then you should notice that you're either out or running low, et cetera, et cetera. You can buy this from multiple vendors. You can keep track of your stock. The system will tell you what you're low on based on your minimums and your maximums, what you should purchase to bring you back up, things like that. You can sell this product online. You can upload an image of your product so that your customers can see what the product looks like when they're purchasing it online or through their app. You can have a long description for the product for your online sales, like this description that says the Just an All-in-One shampoo allows you to use a single product every other day to reduce the detergent impact on damaged hair. So you could have a message like that that goes out when somebody wants to buy this product online. You can do, of course, your physical counts through the software. So you can create reports, worksheets that will tell you what the software thinks you have. Then you can put in your real numbers, and you can go right down the line, type in the SKU number, put in the actual number, type in the next SKU number, put in the actual number, type in the next, etc. When you're done, you process the batch and it will update all of your to the correct numbers that they were. You can delete products. You can delete discontinued products. You can transfer products from one location to another. You can upload products from another software. All sorts of different things that you can do with that. In the client files, you have an unlimited number of pictures that you can store per customer. You don't need to use pictures, by the way. You can use that square for notes if you'd like. You also have traditional notes. So you can write general notes. You can write your operator notes. Operator notes are for the operator's eyes only and will never print. General notes can print if you want them to. Also, you have the skincare intake feature, which is customizable. You can make any of these yes or no questions say whatever you want them to say. So like this one here that says anything at all. What it actually starts with is do you burn? But I changed it to whatever I want, anything at all. So you can change these so that they are customized to what you would actually ask your customers. And your conditions, again, these can be changed to what you are asking. Had eczema, had psoriasis, had seborrhea, whatever it may be. Products that your customers use, brands, types, and how often. Again, you can change them to whatever you want. If you are doing annotations, you can mark up the body. Also, any treatments that you recommend. And again, this can be custom defined so that each one can say whatever you want it to say. Oily skin, dry skin combination, acne, uneven, aging, sensitive, allergic, non-elastic, circulation, others, etc. And recommendations that you might make. And again, all of that can be customized so that it's unique to your business. You can even create your own tracking items. What you see here is not part of your software. You get to create them. So if I said I want a list of all of my customers who have, well, this customer now has blonde hair. I want a list of all of my customers that are female that have blonde hair that's long with oily skin, then this customer would come up on my list that I want to send a marketing message to. And again, I get to create these. So it doesn't say nationality, it doesn't say tattoos, it doesn't say farmers, it doesn't say any of that. Those are things I created when I was giving people training. You can create anything you want so that you can customize your marketing so that it's targeted. You can determine whether they want to get their receipts emailed or printed. You can determine whether they want to get their appointment reminders via text or via email, how they want to get their promotions via email or not, whether or not you accept checks from them, etc. If they're part of your membership program, what type of member are they? How many points have they earned? How many have they used? How many do they have left? So all of that is part of the client file along with their history, etc. That is the basic demo, but I want to open the floor now to any questions you might have. Was there something I showed you that you have a question on, or was there something that you were hoping you would see that you didn't get to see that maybe I can show you?
Well, actually, everything I want to see, you already explained it to me.
Terrific.
So,
okay,
yes,
well, would you like me to send you a copy of this demonstration?
Yes, you can send it to my email because I would have to notify my company so I can use the software because it's very interesting.
Well, I'm very glad to hear you say that. Let me go ahead and just write down your email here that you signed in with. This is the one at Yahoo, right? That's what you want?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, terrific. I will send that to you. You'll probably get it within the next, well, definitely before end of business today, but usually within the next 2 hours, you should receive that email with the link to your class that you just attended. Also, if you are interested, I will have your salesperson, her name is Maureen Long, she's the one who scheduled this for you, and I'll have her contact you to get the information she needs from you to send you a written proposal. Now, there's no obligation. You don't have to accept it, but she'll send you a written proposal, and then if you would like to move forward, that proposal will have the ability for you to place your order. Or if you need changes to the order, you can just let her know, and she'll make those changes and then resend out the proposal. Would you like me to have Ms. Long contact you?
Yes, she can contact me through email.
Okay, will do. I'll let her know that through email. Okay. Okay, well, then I guess we've got everything here. You can expect that email from me within the next couple of hours, and I will certainly pass on the message for Maureen to contact you through email to get the information she needs from you to create a written proposal. Nadine, again, thank you so much for spending time with me. I really do appreciate your time. Take care.
And thank you for your time. Okay.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.